By the 4th century BCE, diamonds were likely being traded in India. Gathered from rivers, the rough stones reached rulers and wealthy merchants who prized their rarity and hardness. But they didn't mean love. No one knelt with a sparkling ring. No jeweler promised forever. Diamonds represented power, protection, and status. Treasures for people rich enough to control the routes carrying them west. The first recorded diamond betrothal ring wouldn't appear until 1477. Even then, it remained an aristocratic exception. So how did an Indian river stone become something millions expect during a proposal? The answer required a royal wedding, an African diamond rush, and 4 words written in 1947. If you enjoy discovering the history behind symbols, like this video and subscribe, because the diamond story begins billions of years before love claimed it. Long before anyone found a diamond, nature had spent billions of years making it. Most gem diamonds formed 150 to 200 kilometers beneath ancient continents, where carbon-bearing fluids or melts met the right conditions. And no, they weren't made from compressed coal. Coal forms near Earth's surface. Diamonds grow deep in the mantle. Some exceed 3 billion years in age. Kimberlite eruptions carried them upward. Erosion released some into rivers. Their tightly bonded carbon structure makes diamond the hardest naturally occurring mineral. That durability later made it perfect for promises of permanence. But the first people to value diamonds weren't thinking about marriage or romance. In ancient India, diamonds came from riverbeds, not enormous mines. Their supply was limited, and the finest entered royal treasuries and elite trade. From India, merchants carried diamonds west, alongside luxury goods. They passed through trading networks before reaching Venice's markets. There, they remained treasures most people never saw. Greek and Roman writers became fascinated by their resistance to scratching. In the 1st century CE, Roman naturalist Pliny described diamond as more valuable than any other precious material. Stories also credited the stones with protective or supernatural powers, strengthening their connection with rulers and warriors. But none of this made them romantic. A diamond displayed authority, wealth, and access to distant trade. Love entered the story much later, inside a European court, where marriage could decide the future of kingdoms. In 1477, Archduke Maximilian of Austria gave Mary of Burgundy, one of Europe's wealthiest heiresses, a diamond betrothal ring, one of the earliest examples preserved in the historical record. It sounds exactly like the beginning of today's familiar tradition. It wasn't. Their marriage joined territories, wealth, and political power. The ring belonged to the language of dynasty as much as affection. Few people could obtain diamonds, and fewer still could place them in jewelry. During the following centuries, cutters learned to shape diamonds more effectively, allowing light to return through the stone instead of leaving it as an unpolished crystal. Powerful European courts embraced the growing brilliance, but diamond rings remained aristocratic possessions, not an expectation for ordinary proposals. For that to change, diamonds first had to become available in quantities Europe had never seen. That change began in the early 1700s, when diamonds appeared in Brazilian river gravels. As India's deposits declined, Brazil became the world's leading source and held that position for more than 150 years. Then, in 1866 and 1867, diamonds were identified in South Africa. The discoveries triggered a rush of prospectors, camps, and deep excavations. Within years, the search moved beyond riverbeds into diamond-bearing rock around Kimberley. The scale was unprecedented. Mining demanded machinery, capital, strict labor systems, and control over distribution. In 1888, Cecil Rhodes established De Beers Consolidated Mines. By 1900, the company controlled an estimated 90% of global rough diamond production. Diamonds were reaching the market in unprecedented numbers, but producers couldn't allow them to feel common. They had solved the problem of supply. Now they needed to persuade millions of people that one particular stone belonged inside every serious love story. In 1938, with the Great Depression weakening diamond sales, De Beers hired the advertising agency N.W. Ayer. Its task wasn't to sell jewelry. It was to make diamonds feel inseparable from courtship, commitment, and marriage. The campaign surrounded diamonds with celebrities, romantic stories, and successful couples. It encouraged men to see the stone as proof of devotion and women to view it as the expected sign of a serious proposal. Then, in 1947, copywriter Francis Geraghty wrote 4 words, "A diamond is forever." The line joined geology to emotion. A stone that could survive for billions of years now appeared to promise a marriage that would endure as long. Advertising didn't invent diamond betrothal rings. Maximilian's 1477 gift proves that. But it transformed an aristocratic custom into a powerful social expectation. By the time the message settled into popular culture, buying a diamond no longer felt like following an advertisement. It felt like following tradition. But the promise of forever carried questions the advertisements rarely showed. By the late 20th century, attention turned to diamonds financing armed conflicts, especially in Africa. The Kimberley Process Certification Scheme entered force in 2003, bringing governments, industry, and civil society together to restrict conflict diamonds. Technology raised another question. Industrial synthetic diamonds existed by the 1950s. In 1970, General Electric made small gem-quality stones suitable for jewelry. Today's laboratory-grown diamonds have essentially the same chemical composition and crystal structure as natural diamonds, though their origins are different. So what gives a diamond meaning? Billions of years beneath Earth, rarity, price, responsible sourcing, or the promise made when someone places it on another person's hand? The answer was never hidden inside the stone. Nature created diamonds beneath ancient continents, but people decided what they would represent. Indian rulers treated them as treasure. European courts placed them inside dynastic betrothals. Mining companies turned them into a global industry. Advertising transformed them into the modern promise of permanent love. Today, couples can choose natural or laboratory-grown diamonds, other gemstones, or no ring at all. The object may change. The promise doesn't have to. Diamonds symbolize love because generations gave them that meaning. Their brilliance attracts the eye. But human commitment is what truly makes the stone matter. If this story changed how you see diamonds, like the video, subscribe, and join us for more remarkable hidden histories.